Tensions along the Israel-Lebanon border have once again drawn global attention, as new military statements and developments signal a potentially significant shift in the region. Comments made by Israel Katz indicate a stronger and more assertive approach by Israel in southern Lebanon. These developments are closely linked to the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hezbollah, as well as wider regional security concerns. Today we will talk about Israel vows to control southern Lebanon up to Litani River. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Israel's strategic plan in southern Lebanon. According to Defense Minister Israel Katz, Israel plans to take control of southern Lebanon up to the Litani River. This river has long been seen as a key geographic boundary for security purposes. Controlling this area would allow Israel to create a buffer zone between its northern communities and hostile forces operating in Lebanon. This move reflects a shift toward a more proactive defense strategy. Instead of only responding to threats, Israel appears to be aiming to prevent them by increasing its presence deeper into southern Lebanon, destruction of bridges and military control. A major part of the operation involves targeting infrastructure used by Hezbollah. According to Katz, 5 important bridges across the Litani River have been destroyed. These bridges were believed to be used for transporting fighters, weapons, and supplies. Israeli forces are also guarding the remaining bridges in the region. This suggests a strategy focused not only on immediate disruption, but also on long-term control of movement. Limiting access routes can significantly weaken the operational ability of Hezbollah in the area. Impact on civilians and displacement. One of the most immediate and profound consequences of the current situation in southern Lebanon is the large-scale displacement of civilians. As military operations intensify, hundreds of thousands of residents have fled their homes, seeking safety from potential attacks and conflict zones. According to statements from Israel Katz, these residents will not be allowed to return until Israel determines that northern communities are secure. This policy links civilian return directly to regional security considerations, creating an extended period of uncertainty for those affected. The humanitarian impact of such displacement is significant. Families are forced to leave behind their homes, but belongings and livelihoods, often relocating to temporary shelters or nearby towns with limited resources. Children face disruptions in schooling, while adults struggle to maintain jobs or businesses. Healthcare access can also be compromised, particularly for vulnerable populations, such as the elderly or chronically ill. Beyond the immediate hardships, prolonged displacement has long-term social and economic consequences. Communities risk losing their social cohesion, and local economies are strained as populations shift unpredictably. Infrastructure in safer areas may become overburdened by the sudden influx of people, creating additional challenges for local authorities and humanitarian organizations. The psychological effects of displacement are also considerable. Fear, trauma, awe, and uncertainty over the future can have lasting impacts on mental health, particularly for children and families who have experienced repeated cycles of conflict. These challenges can persist long after the immediate security threat has passed, making reintegration into normal life difficult. Finally, the uncertainty around when or if residents can return home adds a layer of complexity to the situation. Planning for housing, education, and employment becomes nearly impossible without clarity on the duration of displacement. The longer the security concerns remain unresolved, the more entrenched these humanitarian challenges become, making it essential for both local authorities and international organizations to coordinate support and relief efforts for affected populations. In summary, the displacement of civilians in southern Lebanon represents one of the most severe and enduring consequences of the ongoing military operations. While Israel emphasizes the safety of its northern residents as the primary objective, the humanitarian cost for those forced from their homes remains high, with long-lasting social, economic, and psychological impacts. Security of northern Israel. The primary objective behind Israel's recent military posture is the protection of its northern population, which has lived under persistent security threats for years. Communities located near the border with Lebanon have repeatedly experienced rocket fire, drone incursions, and cross-border attacks. These threats are largely attributed to Hezbollah, which maintains a strong presence in southern Lebanon and possesses a significant arsenal of weapons capable of reaching deep into Israeli territory. For residents in northern Israel, daily life has often been shaped by the constant risk of sudden escalation. Warning sirens, temporary evacuations, and disruptions to schools and businesses have become part of the reality in these areas. This ongoing insecurity has placed pressure on the Israeli government to take stronger measures to ensure long-term safety and stability for its citizens. By extending military control up to the Litani River, Israel aims to create a wider buffer zone between its population centers and Hezbollah's operational areas. The strategic idea is to physically increase the distance between potential launch sites and Israeli communities, thereby reducing the effectiveness and frequency of attacks. A larger controlled area may also allow Israeli forces to detect and respond to threats earlier. Role of UN peacekeeping forces. The area south of the Litani River is monitored by the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, UNIFIL. This international mission is responsible for maintaining peace and stability in the region. UNIFIL works with the Lebanese armed forces and helps ensure that agreements are followed. Around 165 Finnish peacekeepers are part of this mission, showing the involvement of multiple countries in maintaining security in the area. Despite its presence, the mission faces challenges, especially during periods of rising tension when its ability to control events is limited. Wider regional impact. The situation in southern Lebanon carries far-reaching consequences that extend well beyond the immediate border area. What may appear as a localized military development between Israel and Hezbollah has the potential to influence the broader balance of power across the Middle East. Any significant military expansion by Israel into southern Lebanon could trigger a chain reaction involving multiple regional actors, many of whom have direct or indirect ties to Hezbollah. Hezbollah is not an isolated force. It is widely understood to have strong political and military backing from Iran. This connection raises the stakes considerably. If Hezbollah responds forcefully to Israeli actions, there is a possibility that Iran could become more directly involved, either through increased support or strategic coordination. Such a development would dramatically escalate the situation and could draw in additional regional players. At the same time, neighboring countries such as Syria may also play a role, given their geographic proximity and historical involvement in regional conflicts. Syria has previously served as a corridor for military support and coordination, and instability in southern Lebanon could easily spill over into Syrian territory or involve Syrian-based forces. The statement by Israel Katz about taking control of southern Lebanon up to the Litani River marks an important development in the ongoing conflict. With infrastructure destroyed, civilians displaced, and international forces involved, the situation is complex and serious. Israel's focus remains on ensuring the safety of its northern population, but the consequences of these actions will continue to unfold in the coming days. Whether this leads to greater stability or further escalation remains to be seen. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.